I was very fortunate to have been taught by my father, Irving Ludwig, who was a violinist in the Philadelphia Orchestra. My dad was a tremendous influence and inspiration for me. He was a great violinist with an extraordinarily individual, beautiful sound. He literally taught me from open strings when I was 6.5 years old. Even when I was playing etudes or scales, he insisted I play them musically with beautiful phrasing. There's a lineage that goes down. In fact, my father studied with Raphael Bronstein, who was a great pedagogue, and Raphael Bronstein studied with Leopold Auer. So this kind of connection goes through Auer to Bronstein, to my father, to myself, and gets passed along from generation to generation. He writes not only soaring, beautiful melodies for the violinist, but also provides pyrotechnical displays of virtuosity for the violin soloist as well. Meanwhile, the colorful orchestration he writes creates a magical world, evoking incredible images of nature. The orchestra takes up this beautiful theme that has been dramatically played earlier by the violinist. The violinist is now playing an accompanying underlining motif with the orchestra, then suddenly joins in to the conclusion of the melody with the orchestra. But this time the melody soars to the top of the instrument. Unlike the first time where the line descends in bar 20. Tremendous drama. Over the serene eighth note figures of the strings in D minor, the violin enters with a long G, with a hint of dissonance as the fourth in D minor. The great pedagogue Raphael Bronstein envisioned a calm lake in the very opening, when the strings begin their eighth notes. The violin entrance could be likened to a swan that does not disturb the surface of the water it swims over. What beautiful imagery. I approached the 16th note passage in bar 53 with the bow in the string but light. It is important that the sound not be pressed, and keeping a lighter bow pressure gives the possibility for a better sound quality as you proceed up to the top of the G string. I meld the string crossings into double stops as the passage progresses, and give greatest emphasis to bar 67, where the pattern subtly changes after the previous 4 bars. The violin enters in the upbeat to bar 99, and here again is more beautiful imagery by Raphael Bronstein. He imagines a picture of a lighthouse. The repeated note F in bar 100, he imagines as the reflection of light on water, each one created with less bow. You stop after the final F to create the B flat to harmonic D. The light disappears on that harmonic. The music then amazingly explodes with passion all at once, like an eruption leading into bar 102. The octave passage in bar 116 is almost an inversion of the theme in bar 75, with the stepwise motion now descending rather than ascending. The violin part is underlined by beautiful harmonic changes in the orchestra. The large 3-octave leap in the violin part is all the more dramatic due to the huge gap between the pitch of the high B flat and the low rumble of the bassoons, celli, bassi, and timpani. When we play a Mozart violin concerto, we can interchange any number of cadenzas written by various composers. This is not an option with the Sibelius concerto. The cadenza is a vital part of the work that presents part of the compositional structure and key elements of the first movement. I approached the section from bar 242 through 246 with mounting intensity, reaching its climax with the F sharp, E sharp figure at bar 246, which can be played with greater insistence. The challenge at bar 251 is to play the theme on the A string while now introducing that theme an octave lower. So it requires a lot of skill in managing the bow pressure appropriately so that you can conclude the one phrase up top, but bring attention to the phrase down below as well. The ascending violin line leading into bar 275 is a very interesting piece of writing. The high G of the violin is matched by a low melody in the bassoon. Quite a contrast in register and texture. When the first subject returns in bar 277, the violin solo is now on the G string, 2 octaves lower than in the opening of the concerto. This requires a richer sound that is achieved through a deeper bow pressure and a fuller, more intense vibrato. There are 2 significant challenges in playing the double stops in bars 373 through 383. One is playing perfectly in tune. The other is bringing the melody out in a singing fashion. In playing the sixths, I really have even bow pressure between the 2 notes. And then when the octaves come, at that point,